All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. Is Michael Israel coming at you with uh from with spiritual combat with another Hebrew Hell series. As you can see, we didn't do the intro. We're just testing some stuff with YouTube. But today we have a good show for you. We are going to be discussing um, weight loss, the healthy way to lose weight. Um, we are also going to be taking questions. So, because I'm gonna get through this weight loss topic pretty quickly, but want to encourage people to ask questions, about any, uh, you know, anything that might come up. Because, of course, anytime this topic comes up, the topic of weight loss, there's a lot of kind of diet and weight loss. Plans and stuff like that out there. But we are going to go with what truly works and what truly causes weight to build up on the body. We're going to really get into all that stuff. We're also going to talk a little bit about, I'm going to revisit some questions I was actually asked yesterday by a brother concerning wheat, okay? The wheat of the Bible, because in the Word it tells you to eat wheat. It talks about wheat, bread, stuff like that. And we're going to discuss why I say, eat very little wheat. So we're going to go into that in wheats and grains and stuff like that. But anyway, we're going to do a quick intro, and then we're going to get the show rolling. I'm Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat, and we getting ready to get this show going. Get in there, get your questions asked. You can start putting your questions in the comments now. And we're going to do the intro real quick, and I'll be right back. Chilling with my brother, same father. All right, shalom, 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 y'all. Shalom. Michael Israel with Watch Spiritual Combat. We are talking about healthy weight loss today. And I would like to go a step further and call it um, healthy, efficient, effective weight loss. Okay? Um, but that's what we're talking about today. I also want to encourage you, brothers and sisters, if you have any question, go ahead and put it in a comment. Put it in the comments now. I will even go as far as to put that up there to remind you. Any questions, put it in the comments now. Make sure you put a question mark after it. It'll help me see it quicker. If you don't, I'll probably miss it. Um, but any health related questions, doesn't have to be about this particular topic. Definitely put it in the questions, and we'll get to it and chop it up, and it'll make for a good show. Um, so what we're talking about is healthy weight loss, and I would like to say put it healthy, effective weight loss. It's not hard and it's not painful to lose weight. You don't have to go on a starvation diet. You don't have to put a little bitty portion on your diet and walk around with your stomach growling all day. It's not complicated to lose weight when you are properly educated. Um, what you do have to do, you got to understand the foods that pack the weight on. Okay, and the main food that will pack weight on your body like nobody's business are the grains. Um, and what you're going to find is the grains are the smoking gun um, when uh, in a myriad of areas, in a bunch of areas. So you're going to find the grains are right there. They are the the main issue when it comes to a lot of health issues, when it comes to a lot of diseases, when it comes to um, like autoimmune issues, when it comes to being overweight, you name it, these grains are right there. And um, a lot of people, like I had a brother ask me, he's like, Mike, in the Word, it said, Christ says, talks about bread, it's all through the Word about consuming bread, everything like that. And I said, yes, I understand that. I'm not going against the Word. Um, what people don't realize and what the deception is today is twofold. Number one, these grains, and when I say grains, I'm talking about all your grains: rice, flour, sugar, which comes from sugar cane, oatmeal, you name it. You name the cereals. When you look at a typical meal, like I looked at a meal's like meatballs. Uh, I'm just thinking because this is what I was talking about yesterday, but uh, there was a meatball meal I saw served, and the meatballs, in order to make meatballs, you put bread in them. And this particular meatball meal, it had like a sauce on them. That sauce contains sugar. And then they had some chips with it. That's a grain. And then they had some type of juice with it. A lot of times people might have some type of juice or something to drink with it. More than likely that contains corn syrup or sugar. And this is the typical thing with meals. You look at your typical meal, and unbeknownst to you, it's full of sugar. Like the example I give is your typical spaghetti meal. Well, the pasta, that's a grain. The spaghetti sauce, they put sugar in it. That's a grain. Typically with your spaghetti, You're going to have bread. That's a grain. Um, then you might have a salad with it. Okay, I'm having a salad. But then you put salad dressing on it. It's full of sugar. They put a bunch of sugar in there. And then you'll wash it down. You say, I'm being healthy today. I'm going to have some apple juice. Well, you look on the back of that bottle of apple juice, and there's more sugar in that than in a can of Coca-Cola. So we are inundating ourselves with grain, unbeknownst, like, and people are unaware of this, of how much grain they consume on a regular basis in a typical meal. You know, um, 3 times a day typically for people. And like I said, if you're not like, you gotta get familiar with what they're putting grain in. Like, even I saw a bottle of mayonnaise. It had grain in it. They had put sugar in the mayonnaise. Um, Peanut butter. They put sugar in it. You know what I'm saying? Everything is laden down with sugar. So what I tell people, hey, cut the grains out of your diet, because the average person has consumed enough grain for 3 or 4 lifetimes. And we're unknowingly, they have subtly made us, unbeknownst to ourselves, grain gluttons. And the what happens with these grains is they when your body digests them, one of the things that happen is they turn into sugar. So you're putting a huge load on your liver, because it's having to convert all this stuff into sugar. And we're eating this stuff 3 times a day. So instead of having your blood, you can't have all that grain floating around in your blood, because it ferments and turns acidic. So what does your body have to do? It has to convert it into fat so it could store it. So you're putting yourself under a huge load. The other thing that happens with these grains, another name for grains is grasses. Grains are in the grass family, okay? And the thing with grasses is they have proteins in them that your body cannot break down. This is why the animals that are designed to eat grains as a main course, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you can't have grains. I'm saying you got to cut back on them significantly. Me, I've eliminated them because I've consumed so much grains in my life, coming from Jersey, being a pizza addict, and all the stuff I like. I've consumed enough grains for like 7 or 8 lifetimes, to the point where when I consume them now, I have issues. I can tell when I've consumed them. But the other thing about grains is the proteins in them. Your body can't break them down. Now, the animals that are designed to eat grains on a regular basis, when they consume grains or grasses, like a cow, when a cow consumes grass, what does it do? It chews the grass, then it swallows the grass, then it spits the grass back up, chews it more, swallows it back down, and then it digests it through like 3 stomachs. Okay? For us, what happens with us, we consume these grains and we swallow them. They go down into our stomach, and all these strange proteins that these grains are made up of that your body cannot break down. So what happens, there's a protein in, I know in wheat in particular, but in these other grains too, but this protein, when it hits your gut, so your intestinal tract, when this protein touches it, it triggers your intestinal wall to loosen up, so that, and be less permeable. So these strange proteins are able to seep into your body. So what happens that protein causes your gut lining to loosen up. All these strange proteins start coming into your system, and once they're in your body system, to your body, to the different systems of your body, some of these proteins are very similar to proteins that it uses. So it'll utilize these proteins and it'll cause your body to get out of whack. And your immune system knows those aren't the right proteins. They know they're strange proteins. So your immune system will try to alleviate it by dealing with whatever system the proteins being used in. And what the medical establishment calls it is autoimmune disease. They say it's autoimmune disease. Your immune system's attacking itself. And you sitting there like, oh, so what do I do? Here, take these drugs. We'll treat the symptoms. You know, I feel this all the time, or this weird thing happened. Yeah, they'll treat those symptoms, but they don't know what the heck's going on. Then there's another protein in these grains called wheat germ agglutinin, and wheat germ agglutinin, and it binds to the opioid receptor in your brain. And what it causes you to do is to crave more food. It causes you to not be satiated. And it causes you to crave more food. This is why when I get people off grains, a lot of times they'll go down to 1, maybe 2 meals a day, max. Like the most I can eat in a day is 2 meals. And that's a lot. And I do that on the weekends. But typically I eat 1 meal a day. And then like today for breakfast, I had a smoothie. And then for dinner, we are our assembly here. We're getting back on. We're doing another. I guess you call it a plant fast, a vegetarian fast, or something like that. Because all we're having is fruit and vegetables, you know, and we don't go hardcore with it. But during the week, nothing but fruit and vegetables. On the weekends, we'll have some eggs, turkey sausage, stuff like that, you know. But we get back on that. And it's not hard for us to do because, again, we've eliminated the grain. So we don't have these ravenous urges for food where we're just, I got to eat 3 meals a day. When the reality is you really don't even need 1 large meal a day. Like today, I ate seconds on the meal we had today, but I could have just went with, just what we had. But that's good, y'all. Keep the questions coming in there. I'm gonna get to all the questions, and I'm glad y'all make sure y'all put question marks on them. We're gonna hit all the questions too, so get them in there now. But these are some of the things that these grains do to you, and on top of that, they're immediately converted, especially wheat. They're immediately converted to sugar, okay, when they get in your body. And wheat actually spikes your blood glucose level faster than table sugar does. Like wheat is the worst. So somebody was asking me about the wheat. Let me see if I could bring this up. Let me see if I can find a good one. Okay. There we go. I think I found a good one. Let me see if I can put this up here for y'all. Open. Because this will kind of... Yeah, there we go. Okay. So one of the things I was telling this brother when we were talking about this yesterday is, and this is a picture of wheat. Let me see if I can make it bigger. It's going to get a little blurrier, but yeah, that's good. So what I was telling him is one of the things is the wheat that we consume today, you'd be hard pressed to even call it wheat when you compare it to the wheat that we consumed back in the 1960s. Okay? Now, on this chart here, you see the wheat of the 1970s, or this 1969, bred under high nitrogen or whatever. But you see, as you go back, you see how it actually grew taller. The wheat did, okay? But now the wheat they have now, because, and this is 2010. Now we're in 2022, 2024 now. The wheat they have now, the roots shoot down super far, and the plant shoots up only a little, and then it blossoms. The wheat they have now has these strange, aggressive, weird proteins in them that they've manipulated. It's not like the wheat from back in the day, from back in the 50s and the 40s and stuff like that. And literally, as they've manipulated this wheat, you've also seen an increase in obesity. Damn near on a, I'm sure if I could find a chart, it would go right along the, the same, whatever you want to call that, plot line or whatever you want to call it. But it would follow the same trajectory, you know what I'm saying, of increase. The other thing, okay, going back to something I said earlier, they're putting wheat and grains, different types of grains, whether it's rice starch or rice sugar or corn starch or corn, some sugar, and all these things are forms of sugar and stuff like that. They're putting all types of grain-based sugars in all these products that is like, well, why are they putting it in there? And what they, a lot of times what they'll do, they'll put a bunch of it in there, and then they'll put a bunch of salt in there, and the salt cancels out the sugar, and the sugar cancels out the salt, so you don't even taste it. And why are they putting it in there? What did I say earlier? It's addictive. It causes you to crave more. Potato chips. If you look at the majority of the bags of potato chips, full of sugar. It causes you to not get satiated and be filled up. So one of the main things that puts a lot of weight on people are going to be your grains. Okay? So that's a big one. I glanced over at your question real quick. Somebody said, what do you suggest I take for parasites? Let me break that down. It goes right, and I'm hitting that particular question because it ties right into what I'm saying. The parasites feed on sugars, on these types of sugars, these monosaccharide, disaccharide sugars. You know what I'm saying? They don't feed on, like, the fruit sugar is a different type of sugar. We'll get into all that. But these types of sugars are what feed parasites. Like if somebody has like fungus growing on their toes and all this stuff like that, cut the sugar out, and you're gonna cut that out. You know what I'm saying? And we could get all into that, but yeah. So wanted to hit that. But when you really take a look and you really look at what you're consuming, a lot of times, literally in a day, we're literally grain gluttons, you know, and just consuming all this grain. You know, you like in the morning, you'll get up, you'll have some cereal full of grain. You get it, so you start your day off with a grain bomb. You're gonna have some orange juice with that cereal. Look at, there's, again, in orange juice, it's the same as apple juice. There's more sugar in a lot of this orange juice than there is in in a can of Coca-Cola. Okay? So so you do that. Then man, this chair hurt my back the way I'm sitting. Hold on. There we go. Okay? So then after that you go to lunch. Hey, I'm gonna have a sub. Well, I'm gonna go to Subway and get a sub. Well, Subway had a lawsuit against them, or I think they had a Senate hearing or something of why they call that stuff they have in their bread. They said they shouldn't legally be allowed to call what they use in Subway bread because of the sugar content of it. It doesn't even match the genetic makeup of bread. That's what they said. So you go to Subway to get a sub. So the bread is full of sugar. Okay? And when I say full of sugar, wheat is a grain. We know that. But I'm telling you, Subway adds sugar to their bread. Why? To keep you hooked, keep you coming back, keep you addicted. Okay? Then you put all the stuff on your sub. You might have them put some type of sauce on there or whatever. They put sugar in that. And then you're going to wash it down with some type of frosty beverage. And you can guarantee if it ain't water, it's going to be full of sugar. Anything up there in Subway. So then you come home and it's dinner time. And boom, now you eating something again that's full of grain. So literally, we're just inundating ourselves. We're overeating because you don't need 3 meals a day. And I can tell you, I have a ravenous appetite, but I eliminated the grain. That appetite dropped to where you ain't even consuming all that food. Like, again, we eat breakfast at 9 a.m. and we eat dinner at 3 p.m. And that's pretty much it. We might have a snack later on, like oranges or whatever. Okay? So, and I'm going to get in what to eat. Because it's not as bad as it's sounding like. Okay? The way things are sounding, y'all like, well, what the hell do I do? I'm gonna get into that. But I just want to drive that point home. Meats and dairies. Let's talk about dairy. Dairy causes inflammation. Okay? We still consume dairy, we still consume meat, but we just consume it sparingly. We're not eating meat 2 and 3 times a day with 2 or 3 different meals. We only having 1 meal a day. A lot of times during the week there is no meat in the meal, very little dairy in the meals during the week over here. Dairy is very inflammatory. In fact, you show me somebody who has any type of respiratory issue, whether it's upper respiratory or lower respiratory. Talk about upper respiratory, I'm talking about sinuses, and them people you hear, they be like in the morning, they be like they be making them weird sounds about like trying to scratch their brain and all that weird stuff. That's inflammation in their upper respiratory system. Okay? And then your lower respiratory system, of course, is your kidneys and all that stuff like that. And you show me anybody with those types of issues, I'm going to show you somebody when they consume dairy, it's going to aggravate that issue. And a lot of people who consume too much dairy have those issues. Okay? We have a brother, okay, in our assembly. Every morning, he's making these weird sounds, all this weird shit, trying to scratch his brain, digging in his ear like, and all this weird stuff. And we put that brother, he was on a fruit fast. This is his whole life, or a good part of his life. every morning without fail. We put him on a fruit fast. We put him on some of this, and this is something new. It'll be coming out soon. It's in its trial period right now. Okay. Let me see if I. Let me see. Okay, there it is. But we put him on some of that for about a month. He had weird mucus coming out, draining out. And next thing you know, it all went away. It was gone. Poof. He doesn't have it anymore. He was pulling up mucus and stuff for a little while, and all that cleared out of there. And what it is, this stuff creates inflammation, and there you have cavities like mucus cavities or whatever in your head, in your skull, and all that stuff, and that's where this stuff drains into, you know. So yeah, but the main thing that changed it was his diet. Of course, the herbs we have, they expedite it. They make the stuff, you know, they make stuff happen quick. They get stuff moving. But at the end of the day, it's the diet change. You're eating, and the diet we are on or the diet most people on is a inflammatory diet. It causes inflammation. It causes the body. It generates a lot of waste in the body. Okay, these diets that people are on, where they're eating these big meals, and the meal is a lot of meat and a lot of dairy and a lot of grain and a little bit of vegetables. Well, our meals, like the meal we had today, was a stir fry with cauliflower rice, and it was literally all vegetables. Okay, it was. I think it was 100% vegetables, fruits and vegetables, kind of. And when I say fruits, that's something else. I have to go into what a fruit is, so I don't want anybody to get confused. But it was a plant-based meal, and the main thing that being on a highly plant-based diet does, the name of the game is hydrating the body, keeping the body hydrated, and that keeps things moving. When you're consuming these meals where it's mostly meat and grain and dairy, like when you consume that stuff pulls water out of your body in order to hydrate it, in order for it to be digested. That's just one of the things. The other thing these foods do, now the meats and the dairies, they have proteins. Now your body can break those proteins down, but it only uses a small amount of those proteins. The rest of those proteins are sent to the kidneys, and they cause a lot of inflammation in the kidneys. It's real hard on the kidneys with all this protein. And as you know, your kidneys are your body's filtration system. They're part of your body's sewage system. So you get your kidneys overwhelmed and backed up, and then on top of that, you're consuming all these sugars, which are grains. The grains turn into sugars. Well, the excess sugar will turn acidic in your body, so your body has to get that out, so it sends that over to the kidneys. So now your kidneys have this huge load on them, on top of the inflammation that all this stuff causes. And couple that with a lot of y'all drink caffeine. Well, caffeine will give you what you perceive to be energy at the cost of what? Shutting down unnecessary systems. Because the caffeine puts your body in a fight or flight modality. Okay? So the caffeine has your body like, I'm getting ready to fight, shut down all unnecessary systems. So what will your body do? Your body will shut down the kidneys and the body's sewage system. And then you couple that with the fact that you're overwhelming it with all this shit you're sending to it. And then the next thing you know, hey, Michael Israel, I got this big knot on my forehead and pus is oozing out of it. And I'm like, okay, eliminate the grain, eat a high plant-based diet, and get some kidney kickstart. Order some kidney kickstart to kickstart your kidneys. Or a lot of y'all be like, hey Michael Israel, I got this big ass rash on my hand. Well, your skin is your third kidney. Okay? If your two kidneys are overwhelmed, your body's gonna start eliminating stuff out the skin. And the reason why it turns red and bumpy is because it's acidic, and that acid it is gets on your skin and it burns and causes it to be itchy because it's dry. The acids dry your skin out and aggravate it, and it's messy. But again, all this can be reversed by going on a high plant-based diet. Keep the questions coming in, y'all. By being on a high plant-based diet. And when I say high plant-based, I like to go even be on a high fruit diet. Because going on what to eat, what you got to understand is fruits build the body up, and I'm sorry, vegetables build the body up, and fruits cleanse the body. Okay? And what are fruits? The fruit that any fruit that a plant produces. So tomatoes are a fruit because it's what a plant produces. Peppers are a fruit because it's what a plant produces. Potatoes are not a fruit. Potatoes are a root. That's why they're not, they're not going to cleanse you out. Okay? So squash is a fruit, is what a plant produces. Okay? So on what to eat. Let's see. I'm going to show y'all what to eat. My best suggestion on the things to eat and the meals to eat where you're consuming a plant-based, a high plant-based diet and a high fruit diet, my recommendation is to just download Koya's free cookbook off of householdherbs.com. Download her book. There it is, Household Herbs. You see it right there. There you go. See it? It says Household Herbs. Download her book. And she shows in the book, they give you all the ideas of what foods to use. Okay? What types of things you need to be consuming that are going to help you, and you can still eat good. Like, for instance, after dinner today, I had a chocolate cake. It was a brownie chocolate cake that my daughter made. Brownie chocolate cake with some type of sweet frosting on it. And to say it was good was an understatement. It was unusually good, okay? And I had 2 pieces of it. And I mean it was better than any grain-based cake I've ever had in my life. And it was grain-free and sugar-free. Okay? Now, it's still sweets and stuff, so to a degree, it'll put a little weight on you, but it's not going to put the type of weight on you that you're not going to be able to get off, that where it's just going to pile up. And again, I'm not sitting there eating grain all and sweet stuff day in and day out, those types of sweet things. So, all right. But you get this book. It's free. It's a free download. You get this book, and this book is going to guide you on meals you can make. I mean, we still have fried chicken here. We have cassava fried chicken fried in grapeseed oil. Is it the healthiest thing in the whole world? No, but it ain't bad. It ain't like eating grain, chicken fried in grain in some of these terrible oils they have. They're gonna throw your hormones out of whack. So there's all types of alternatives, and then I'll tell you this again. And I'm sure some of the brothers and sisters here who've had it, they will they'll they'll bear witness to this. That cassava fried chicken is better than any fried chicken I've ever had in my life, hands down. I'm just keeping it 1,000 with y'all. I'm just keeping it 100. Okay? All right. So let's see. That's right. Keep the questions rolling in. But that's the route to go. This is the healthy way to lose weight. You want to lose weight because a lot of people will go on these weird diets. Hey, the ketogenic diet or this diet or that diet, and you'll lose weight. But a lot of times what happens, it's an unhealthy way to lose weight because the body's not getting properly hydrated. Like when you go on a high fruit or all fruit diet, you're losing weight and hydrating the body. You're hydrating the skin. That way your skin won't be flabby. You have all this flab hanging off your body. You're dieting, you're losing weight in a healthy way. You know. And then on top of that, inevitably I get all the testimonials, people like, oh man, this cleared up on me. This are all these things that clear up. All right, let's hit some of these questions y'all got here. Somebody said, what are your thoughts on coconut sugar? Is it a good replacement for regular sugar? Guess what that cake I had today had in it? Coconut sugar. That's what it had. So yeah, it is absolutely, it's a good alternative. I'd like to say that that's actually in Sister Koya in her cookbook. Okay? There. All right. Somebody said, I'm the skinny mofo not doing right. So let me tell y'all this too, okay? Because this was something else. We had a lot of brothers. They're like, look, I do that diet, Mike, but I'm skinny, man. I want to gain weight. Again, in this book here, if you want to put on weight and bulk up, you can eat more of the cake stuff, and they have these cassava wraps. You can eat a lot of that, and you will put weight on. Ask me how I know that, because I did it. I was eating all these cassava. These sisters, they make cassava French fries, cassava wraps, almond bread. Sister Koya made banana bread the other day. And you can eat a bunch of stuff like that, and you will put on weight, but it'll be a healthy weight. Eat more vegetables, and still consume your fruit, and you will bulk up. You will bulk up, okay? But it's not going to be this weight gain with tumors and autoimmune disease and all this weird, crazy stuff that be going on with people. Let's see. Okay, somebody said, you mean grass is not grain. Sugar cane isn't a grain. Sugar cane is a grain, and sugar cane is in the grass family. You know, there is all that, and grains are grasses, and grasses are grains. So yeah, you use it interchangeably. Somebody said, is monk fruit sweetener a good substitute for sugar? No, because what they're finding is monk fruit is bad for the heart. Okay, that's what they're saying. Somebody said, I stopped working out because I need to get my diet right. Well, now you're going to get it right. Hallelujah. Okay. So we got somebody making a statement there. Never realized how much grain I was actually consuming. All things in balance. Okay, so Brother Israel said, "Bless you, Brother Mike. Michael Israel, thank you for the wisdom. I'm going to cut back on the grains." Yeah, and that's all I'm telling people to do. You know, cut back. And he said he's going to increase his fruits and vegetables. You know, and you're going to see. I mean, I can't tell you the number. You know, people come back to me, man. You know, I'm not, and this is nothing. You see, don't nobody come in here and try to argue and debate and try to show me, hey, well, this is a better way and this. No, look, people could try this for 2 weeks, and ain't nobody gonna be saying nothing. And we're going back to the way that the Most High would have us to go. We're not eating all this man-made stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. So I already addressed that one. Any suggestions to take for a parasite cleanse? And again, like I said, eliminate the sugar. So with that, you're gonna stop feeding the parasites because that's what they eat. They feed on sugar. Anybody with a whole bunch of parasites is eating a whole bunch of sugar. And then the other thing, you could go here on Sister Koya on the household herbs website, and I want to say there is a that we have a parasite cleanse tea on there. I'm gonna have to check. If we don't, we will. Okay. If we don't, we will. All right. Let's see. Let's see. We need to get. I'm not sure what he's saying. You feeding us uncomfortable. Yeah. Okay. Somebody said, "What about a stuffy nose?" So if any type of nose issue, again, like I said, dairy. That's a big thing. The other thing for sinus issues, um, this right here, antiviral. The antiviral tincture. I was telling a brother this yesterday. The antiviral tincture was designed to combat the plague that shall not be named because the algorithm will spank me for saying its name. But the plague that happened back in 2020, okay? That's what the antiviral was designed to combat. I studied the medical literature or whatever of that thing, and I formulated that. But because the plague that shall not be mentioned attacks, it's a respiratory based virus. Uh, that's what that's designed for, is for the respiratory system. But like I tell people, that antiviral tincture, anything respiratory, upper or lower, it will knock it out. Now the full body detox will do it too, but I'm just telling you, if you have any type of respiratory situation going on, just get that antiviral and it'll knock it out. And like I said, I've had brothers come up to me with allergies, and I say, here, boom, give them a bottle. They take a swig of it, and literally within a minute or so, they're beginning to drain and stuff's beginning to come apart. And yeah, it's that serious. COPD, right there. Take that antiviral. You name it. Asthma, take that antiviral. Okay, because asthma is the lymphatic system around your lower respiratory system is backed up. If you want to get into what that is, okay, we could go all into that. But yeah, so I want to let y'all know that. All right. Shalom, brother. Shalom to you. Shalom, shalom. Uh, so somebody said just putting this out there, cauliflower, broccoli are genetically engineered foods that don't occur naturally, 100% man-made. And like I said, I could what I'm about is provable, observable, and repeatable. Okay? To where I could put you on a broccoli juice diet and it will turn reverse conditions that you can watch that reverse conditions that people have. And I get the whole genetically modified thing. Most of the fruits, like watermelons, are genetically modified. Oranges are genetically modified. Apples are genetically modified. Like you could go through all the foods that they've bred and done things to get them. They talk about, oh, don't eat seedless grapes, this, that. Man, people are reversing cancer on seedless Walmart grapes. So again, everything anything I say on here, I do it according to the biblical principle of try all things and hold fast to that which is true. You know what I'm saying? Like they got all these diets out here and all this stuff, all these different types of diets. Hey, the only way, if they talking about it, hey, it'll do this, it'll do that, it'll do the other. I say go try it and see what happens. Hold fast to that which is true. Somebody said, where can I order the herbs? Right here. So, and she's going to have to fix this website because, see, this isn't laid out right here. It's not displaying right. So she gonna have to, I'm going to have her fix this because it's not rendering right. But the website is householdherbs.com. Okay? Again, let me see if I could get it to display correctly on another page. It's not. There we go. So there, that's the website right there, householdherbs.com. And it wasn't her website. What it was, I had my screen magnified, so it was blown up. But you could go to this website, householdherbs.com, and order what you need or whatever you hear me talking about or whatever. But I'll tell you this, the biggest thing is change your diet first, because the herbs add to it. They kick it forward, but you don't want to just waste your money on herbs and be eating like trash. I mean, I'll just be honest, the herbs still work even if you eating like trash, but they're going to work way better if you eating correctly. Okay? All right. Anything with seeds inside or outside is a fruit. Okay. That's a good way to put it. Yep. Can you do that diet? Can you do that diet with no exercise? Yes, you can lose all that weight without even look, the size y'all see me, for those of you who see me, like at one point I started putting on weight because I was eating all this cassava bread, this, and almond flour, this stuff, and all these stuff that's healthy, but it still puts weight on. I was getting big, and then I switched to a high fruit diet, high plant-based diet, and the weight just came off. Now I'm getting ready to start working out. I'm getting ready to start lifting weights and working out and exercising. But yeah, you can lose all that weight without exercising. You just gotta remove the grains. That's the big one, and consume more plants and fruit then you're consuming meat and dairy and stuff like that. Okay. Coconut. Yep, coconut sugar is acceptable. Okay, we got that. We answered that already. So, any suggestions on parasite cleanse? Can you go? All right. Somebody asked, can you go on a diet with just fruit, or would it be better to go on a different diet? Yeah, it depends. It depends on what you got going on. If people are cleansing, trying to cleanse and lose weight, and I tell them go on an all fruit diet, especially if they got something going on like rashes or whatever. I tell them get on an all fruit diet. Um, and again, we went on an all fruit diet right after the last feast, right after Feast of Tabernacles. We went on a 1 month all fruit diet. And again, the sisters here were still cooking full meals, but they were all fruit. Like Koya would make a meal with like squash and green peppers, onions, and all this other stuff. Like that's their department. They know about all that. They know how to do all that stuff. And that's why my suggestion is to get the book, because a lot of that stuff's in there. Sister Koya is working on another book where it's really gonna go in about how to cook with fruit and stuff. And yeah, and you'll be cleansing. Your body will be cleansing. But it's not gonna cleanse like it would if you were on a raw, uncooked fruit diet. That's when your body really cleanses, okay? Alright. Hope that answers you. Somebody said, why when I cut back on the grains, I'm not having energy. I work as a maintenance guy that walks all day up and down stairs. So with the grains, part of it is going to be, and we'd have to talk more, but part of it is going to be you, depending on how much you eat, you get off the grains, you're going to have, you might be relapsing because you might be addicted to it. The other thing, your body might be already be starting to cleanse and everything like that and get itself right. But a lot of times you get off these foods and you get on a fruit diet, your body's going to start cleansing, and that would bring us in, and that would be another show, but I would bring up my healing symptoms where people will go on an all fruit diet and stuff start coming up out of them. They start having mucus coming out of their ears and their nose and mouth, and when they take a dump, mucus is coming out, and their body is just, all these things happen, headaches and all joint pains, all this stuff, because the body's beginning to regenerate itself and move all these acids up out of it. Okay. So we would have to, that would actually be another show to break down what happens when you're changing up, and depending on how hard you've been going down this path of eating in an unhealthy manner and not taking care of yourself, when you stop that and begin eating healthy, is going to be, you're going to have what we call healing symptoms. Okay. Now Koya put some stuff in here. These are herbs that, and I gotta take this off because, whew, it is hot up in this mug. So these are herbs that will cleanse. They're antiviral herbs. Okay, well, not antiviral. They are parasite herbs. Okay, herbs for that will help cleanse out parasites. So black walnut hull, wormwood are a couple of herbs that are great for parasite elimination, but also a diet change to alkaline. And an alkaline diet is a plant-based diet, a highly plant-based diet. The opposite of that is an acidic diet. And what we're talking about when we say acidic diet or an inflammatory diet, like when you consume meat, in order for the body to break that meat down and break those proteins down, it generates a lot of acid, okay? And in order for the body to protect itself so that acid doesn't burn the internal organs and stuff of the body has to release mucus to prevent that acid from burning, you know, your digestive system and everything like that. So it's a very acidic process. All those proteins getting sent to the kidneys is a very acidic acid forming process. Okay. Another thing that's very acidic and inflammatory are beans. So if you're consuming a lot of beans, again, it's the same thing. All right. Somebody said, "Are the brownies you ate today in the cookbook?" Koya, let me know. But I'll tell you, when you download the cookbook, it's free. You'll know. All right, somebody said, "Shalom, Brother Mike. Bless you. Can the antiviral be given to children under 6 years of age? What is the youngest it can be administered to?" Okay, let me put on my diplomatic political hat. On the bottle, I think it says we don't endorse or whatever say to be giving it to children. Okay, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? However, I got a sister had reached out to Sister Koya and was telling Sister Koya that her baby, I guess who was so many months old, was congested with mucus or whatever. And she said she gave him some amount of that, I guess in the milk or something, but gave the baby that. And because I guess the condition that shall not be mentioned was going around or something, but the baby had something. Anyway, gave the baby a little bit of that, and the baby took like a giant dump, a giant explosive dump in his diaper, and it was like a blowout, and it was like all mucus. So there you go. But when you read the bottle and when you ask me, I'll say, nah, I don't say give it to children because I don't know how much to give children. So, yep. So there you go. All right. Okay. Let's see. Listening to... Somebody said, "Brother Israel, do you recommend drinking alkaline water?" I mean, you can. You know, I drink whatever they bring me. You know, right now they brought me this. So I'm drinking that. I drink whatever they set in front of me. I don't get all caught up in all that, all them technicalities. Like somebody's like, you can't get grapes from Walmart, you know? And it's like, bro, look, we just go to the grocery store and buy fruit and we getting the results. You know what I'm saying? We see the difference. So we don't get caught up in the technicalities and all that stuff like that. But I will tell you this. The best water you could drink is the water from fruit. So when you're consuming fruit, that is the purest hydration you could get, because that water is filtered through the roots of that plant, through the stem, all the way into the fruit. So it's the purest, most hydrating water you could get. So that's why it's imperative to focus on being on a high fruit diet. You get a lot of these people, they be like, they got this big ass 5-gallon bucket drink bottle, look like a damn 5-gallon bucket, and they're like, I'm making sure I get all my water. And they drinking all this damn water. And unknowingly, what they're doing, they're rinsing all the electrolytes and stuff out of their body. And it really ain't, the best thing you can do is be consuming a lot of fruit, where you're getting your H2O and you're getting your electrolytes and your minerals and nutrients and everything your body needs, because that's how the Most High made that fruit, to give you what you need. Okay? Okay. So yeah, hopefully that answered that brother's question. That was a good question. Cause yeah, man, a lot of the stuff that's mainstream media, all these fad diets, all this stuff like that, all this, it's all a lot of stuff just a hustle to get your money, man. It like literally. Like if you go, the more fruit you eat, the healthier you're gonna be. The more movement and exercise. Literally, all you gotta do is move and exercise. So be active and consume a lot of fruit, and you're gonna, 80-90% of things are gonna just reverse themselves. It's that simple, and they don't want you to know that. They want you to think you gotta come down there and they gotta do this blood work and put you on this machine and look at this and, oh, this is out of balance. Hey, we're going to need to give you a pill to bring this back in balance. And then to bring this back up, we're going to have to give you a pill for that. And you're going to have to keep coming here for this. And look, we're fearfully and wonderfully made, and the Most High, his way is simple. You know what I'm saying? He's not the author of confusion. But the medical establishment is the author of confusion. And not in their triage care, like not in their emergency care. They are, bar none, they are on point. But anything outside of that, they diagnostics and how they see stuff is upside down and backwards, y'all. I'm telling you. But yeah, y'all, that's what I wanted to bring out. I've been on here about an hour, y'all. I got a lot I got to take care of. Definitely appreciate y'all coming in with the questions. I will probably be back on tomorrow night. I got a lesson. There's going to be a spiritual combat warfare lesson. So be ready for that. Depending on how my time is, I'll be back on probably around at 5. We'll see. But anyway, with that said, y'all, that's all I got. I appreciate all y'all tuning in. I'm Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat. This is the ongoing Hebrew Health Series. And with that said, shalom, shalom.
Turn that up. Better learn how to bleed the blood of your whole body. Stay in the spirit. Cause Satan could use you if you let him. You cannot win, I see your trickery. We at the end, can't none of that get to me. Confessing my sin, I'm watching my enemy. Scripts in my head, it hit me like Kennedy. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me. Walk in the spirit, so that mean I'm killing me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. You cannot win, I see your trickery. We at the end, can't none of that get to me. Confessing my sin, I'm watching my enemy. Scripts in my head, it hit me like Kennedy. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me. Walk in the spirit, so that mean I'm killing me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. He been on my line since a younger was a child. Had me shooting guns, popping pills, smoking loud. I'm the main event, but I was following the crowd. Wish I would've known what I know right now. Mama ain't raping like this, had her yelling in the house like where in the hell we go wrong. Mama them curses just couldn't leave us alone. We made an oath to the one on the throne. Them angels was with us, was never alone. Mercy and grace coming straight from the throne. When this was missing, I made it back home. I would never had to give me a loan. He had to open my eyes, I had to put down my pride. Boy, I'm so lit, I'm alive. We gon' follow the Messiah. We gon' follow the Messiah. I'm a lick, a bond. Messiah, I'm a lick. Messiah. Ooh, you cannot win. I see your trickery. We at the end, ain't none of that get to me. Confessing my sin, I'm watching my enemy. Scripts in my head, it hit me like Kennedy. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me. Walking the spirit, so that mean I'm killing me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. You cannot win. I see your trickery. We at the end, ain't none of that get to me. Confessing my sin, I'm watching my enemy. Scripts in my head, it hit me like Kennedy. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me. Walking the spirit, so that mean I'm killing me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me.
Hallelujah. Blessed and highly favored. I love myself as well as my neighbor. Enjoy peace and love, yet I'm nothing to play with. Y'all running with the latest, what I believe is sacred. Our Father in heaven gave us eyes to see, to make distinctions between the psyops and the prophecies. I'm from a place where they downplay your atrocities, give you milk and cheese and never pay the proper fees. My brother's trying to calm the beast by copping pleas, but the only place the beast want the sheep is in his teeth. Father, forgive them for they know not what they do, but don't mistake, that's for the sheep who fell away, that's not for you. A wolf knows he ain't in the dark about his plans. He coming for the flock, he want that blood on his hands. Wants your throat not to breathe. In the lake of fire, he wants you to go beneath. Praying on you until your flesh, he wants you to sow a seed. Deferred hope maketh the heart sick. Yeah, Satan love it when you deceive. Disparaging remarks about our heritage and false narrative that said there's no merit to what we read, man. That gaslight like a flashlight. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. Y'all need to get that bag right. Wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. One hell of a ticket, pun intended. Don't you say I cussed. We've been through enough, 400 plus. Our time is up. Take off these cuffs. I've been in repentance for this lust. Not with the porn, but I can swipe up an image and feel disgust. What? They think I'm tripping cause I want more for myself. So that even in my thoughts I'm not whoring myself, yeah. Luring myself away from righteousness with my desire. My right hand mislead me, cut it off like Michael Myers. Life is easy, it's just complicated by these liars. Truth is confiscated, to get it you need the God of Zion. They confuse the sheep with disbelief and self-reliance. Took the Father's name off creation and blamed the science. Hebrews never boarded but still became compliant. Mission aborted, some of us refuse to slay this giant. That talking head should be severed off and dead. Bring us Pentecost instead, let's start speaking with tongues of fire. Ain't wanna preach to us, now the preaching coming from the choir. Y'all too corporate, tell me how does a preacher retire? I see y'all done bought the lies and y'all receipt expired. From the Holy Spirit, I don't never want no peace and quiet. The sheep hear the word of the most majestic, wonderful counselor, blessed voice of the shepherd. Meanwhile, all of the goats are disconnected, lawless, trading the promise of the blessed for a death wish.